So good day guys, welcome back to our channel. Starting today, we are going to focus on one subject before going to another. And we are going to focus on forensic 3 or forensic chemistry and toxicology because this is the newest subject that is included under criminalistics or forensic. So I am going to discuss today the history of forensic medicine, forensic chemistry, and crime laboratory, and I will be limiting only the locale of this discussion in the Philippines. So in 1858, the first medical textbook printed including pertinent instruction relating to medico-legal practice by Spanish physician Dr. Rafael Ginard Imas. He is the chief army physician during that time, and the title of the book is Manual de Medicina Domestica. So it is given that the pioneer of knowledge during that time are the well-privileged class, which is the Spaniards. So in 1871, teaching of forensic medicine was included as an academic subject in the foundation of the School of Medicine of the Real y Pontificia Universidad de Santo Tomas, that is known as University of Santo Tomas or UST today. That is on March 31. Next is March 31, 1876. That is by virtue of Royal Decree number 188 of the King of Spain, the position of Medico Titularis was created. So what is the function of this position? They are now made in charge of public sanitation, at the same time medico-legal in the administration of justice. Next year is December 15, 1884. That is now the creation of a committee to study the mineral waters of Luzon under General Joaquin Jubillar and Anacleto del Rosario as chemist. In September 13, 1887, Laboratorio Municipal de Manila was created and has the function to analyze food, water, materials for standpoint of public health and legal medicine, and specimen for clinical purposes. In 1894, the rules regulating the service of medico titular e forensis was published. In 1895, Medico-legal laboratory was established in the city of Manila. But there is the problem. How about the other places in which they are in need of medico-legal help when it comes to their family members that is in need of medico-legal assistance? So the medico-legal laboratory was now extended to different province in the Philippines, not only in Manila. So in 1898, the American civil government preserved the Spanish forensic medicine system. So during the entry of the American regime or the American civil government, they did not change the Spanish forensic medicine. They preserved it in order to be still observed by the medical expert or medical legal expert during that time. In 1899, the establishment of the first crime laboratory by the U.S. Army First Scientific Laboratory on the bank of Pasig River under Lieutenant R.P. Strong, an American who took charge for 2 years. In 1901, the Philippine Commission created the Provincial, Insular, and Municipal Board of Health as provided by Act number 157, 307, and 308. Take note that that is Act, not Republic Act. They are different from one another. So in the Philippines and assigned to the respective inspectors and president of the same medico-legal duties of the medico-titulares of the Spanish regime. The Philippine legislatures maintained the pre-existing medico-legal system in full force in the administrative code. In July 1, 1901, Bureau of Government Laboratories or BGL was created, and its purpose was to perform biological and chemical analysis and reproduction of vaccine and seras. Seras is also known as serum. It is a clear yellowish fluid obtained upon separating whole blood into its solid and liquid components after it has been allowed to clot. So, by virtue of Act number 156 by Civil Commission and Dr. Paul C. Fryer became the first director on June 21 but assumed position on September 21. In year 1919, the University of the Philippines created Department of Legal Medicine and Ethics, with the head having a salary of 4,000 pesos per annum, half-time basis, with Dr. Sixto de los Angeles as the chief. In January 10, 1922, the head of Department of Legal Medicine and Ethics became the chief of the Medico-legal Department of the Philippine General Hospital without pay. So it is only voluntary in nature. So in March 10, 1922, the Philippine legislators enacted Act number 1043, which becomes incorporated in Administrative Code as Section 24 or Section 2465. This is amended by Commonwealth Act number 537 and further amended by Republic Act 272. So Act number 1043 that is incorporated in Administrative Code as Section 2465 provided that the Department of Legal Medicine, University of the Philippines, become branch of the Department of Justice. In December 10, 1937, it is now the creation of Commonwealth Act number 181. That is the further creation of Republic Act 157. That is the act creating a Bureau of Investigation and was amended by Executive Order number 94 to change the name of Bureau of Investigation to National Bureau of Investigation. Under Commonwealth Act number 181, it was passed in order to create the Division of Investigation under the Department of Justice. The medico-legal section was made as an integral part of the division with Dr. Gregorio T. Lantin as the chief. In March 3, 1939, the Department of Legal Medicine of College of Medicine of the University of the Philippines was abolished, and its functions were transferred to the medico-legal section of the Division of Investigation under the Department of Justice. In 1945, immediately after the liberation of Manila, the Provost Marshal of the United States Army created the Criminal Investigation Laboratory with the Office of the Medical Examiner as an integral part and with Dr. Mariano Lara as Chief Medical Examiner. In June 1947, Republic Act number 157 was created. So the Bureau of Investigation was passed. The Bureau of Investigation was created by virtue of an executive order of the President of the Philippines. So under the Bureau, a medico-legal division was created with Dr. Enrique V. de los Santos as chief. So all provincial, municipal, and city health officers, physician of hospital, health centers, asylums, penitentiaries and prisons, and colonies are ex officio medico-legal officers. So in remote places where the service of registered physician was not available, as a Serohano Manistrante may perform medico-legal works. However, after the approval of Republic Act 1982 on June 5, 1954, which provided for the creation of rural health unit to each municipality composed of municipal health officer, a public nurse, a midwife, and a sanitary inspector, virtually abolished the appointment of cirujano manistrante, thereby making qualified physician to perform medico-legal functions. In June 18, 1941, Republic Act number 401, which was later amended by Republic Act number 1934, provides for the creation of Office of the Medical Examiners and Criminal Investigation Laboratory under the Police Department of the City of Manila. On December 23, 1975, Presidential Decree number 856 was promulgated and provides the following. Number 1, person authorized to perform autopsies are only the health officers, medical officers of law enforcement agencies, members of medical staff of accredited hospitals. Autopsies shall be performed in the following cases: whenever required by special laws, upon order of a competent court, a mayor and a provincial of city or city fiscal, upon written request of police authorities, whenever the Solicitor General, provincial or city fiscal deem it necessary to decenter and take possession of the remains for examination to determine the cause of death, and whenever the nearest kin shall request in writing the authorities concerned in ascertain the cause and nature of death. So at present, there are two distinct crime laboratory in the Philippines. That is the Philippine National Police Crime Laboratory, and we have the Forensic Chemistry Division of the National Bureau of Investigation. For the history of the Philippine National Police Crime Laboratory, it is separated within the discussion in order to avoid confusion. So the history of the PNP Crime Laboratory traces its origin from the fingerprint section of the G2 Division of the Military Police Command Armed Forces in the West Pacific of the United States Army, or the AF Westpac. It is organized in May 19, 1945. Later on, it was upgraded into branch and remained as Crime Laboratory Branch of the Criminal Investigation Service, or the CIS, the investigative arm of the Philippine Constabulary. The laboratory underwent several reorganization and changes of names. It was reorganized on May 26, 1959 as a separate unit of the Philippine Constabulary under Table of Organization and Equipment 3-07, or what we also known as TO and 3-07 of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, and was renamed as Philippine Constabulary Forensic Laboratory. So on December 1, 1960, pursuant to TO and EO3, the unit was renamed as PC Central Crime Laboratory, and on June 28, 1961, it was activated as separate unit of the Armed Forces of the Philippines pursuant to Special Order Number 453 GHQ-AFP. So the national headquarters of Crime Laboratory in Camp Crame was constructed during the term of then Philippine Constabulary Chief Brigadier General Vicente Raval on December 4, 1968. So the construction was completed on July 22, 1969, coinciding with its official designation as the Philippine Constabulary Crime Laboratory or the PCCL, pursuant to Headquarters Philippine Constabulary General Order Number 23. So in 1975, scientific equipment were acquired through war repatriation program of the Japanese government under the authority of HPC GO number 23, wherein 12 regional units were established. With the merging of the Philippine Constabulary and the Integrated National Police on May 16, 1985, so the PCCL was now designated as PCINP Crime Laboratory Service or the CLS as per HPC GO number 64. And today, it is now known as the Philippine National Police Crime Laboratory, or in its complete name, that is CLO SOCO, that is the Crime Laboratory Office, Scene of the Crime Operation. And for the history of the Forensic Chemistry Division of the National Bureau of Investigation, it is not available within the books that is circulating in the academy or in the academe, and it is not only also available online. So we are just reiterating, or we will just discuss how does the National Bureau of Investigation was created. So again, so the National Bureau of Investigation was created or Commonwealth Act number 181, that is created on November 13, 1936, the inception of National Bureau of Investigation, originally called as Division of Investigation, patterned after the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation or the FBI. So it is followed by the law that Republic Act 157, that is created on June 19, 1947, that is reorganized the Division of Investigation into Bureau of Investigation under the Department of Justice. So then followed by the Executive Order number 94, that is created on October 4, 1949, renamed the Bureau of Investigation to and the National Bureau of Investigation, which remained attached to Department of Justice or DOJ. And lastly, that is Executive Order number 294, that is created on July 25, 1987, the Administrative Code of 1987 provided for the organization, structure, and operation of the DOJ and its attached agencies, including NBI. So that's end our discussion. So if you have clarification within the discussion, you can comment it on the comment box and I will find a way to answer your questions or queries. So that's all for today. I repeat, if you have questions within the discussion for today, you are free to ask. Thank you and God bless.